Hello and welcome everyone. It is Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. Today was New Comic Book Day, best day of the week, and man did we have some good stuff coming out this week. Some gorgeous covers, some good first appearances, some cool stuff in some of these books. And boy, we'll get into that in just a second, but as usual, thank you to all my subscribers. Really appreciate you watching my videos, sending me comments. I love being part of this community, and it's because of you that my channel's growing, so thank you so much. I also want to do my comic... I'm going to do comic shop shout out, but it's the same one I did in my last video. It's Dungeon Comics, and the reason for that is he's going to provide a 5% discount till November 1st, and I want to make sure if anybody is interested in ordering stuff online, they can order stuff from him. I've also put the address to his brick and mortar store down in the comments, because if you are in Ontario, Canada, and you haven't been there, I'd highly suggest you go there, because he gives really great service. It's funny, I've had about 10 people just after my last video say they've gone there or they bought stuff from him online and had nothing but good service from him. So you can't ask for much more than that nowadays. I mean, the price is pretty much the same everywhere, but what separates one store from the next is customer service, and you get it there. So I highly recommend Dungeon Comics. And I also I want to try to remind people that I do contribute to the Key Collector Comics app. It's a really good app. I have it on my phone. I had it for quite a while before the owner actually contacted me and asked if I'd like to contribute. So I just kind of jumped on board with that. And it just in his weekly picks, I myself and a bunch of other people kind of put our picks for the week in there. So it's if you haven't checked it out, check it out. There is a free download, and then there's I think you pay $20 to have the full for the year for everything. So it's up to you. You can do the free one, or you can pay whatever you want to do. Highly recommend it, though. It's a good app. So we'll get going into my books this week. Man, we got some good stuff. I picked up, let's go with my independents. As usual, I got Black Badge number 3. I got the regular cover and the variant for that one. I think I'm probably going to drop it after this one. I'll see. The last issue wasn't all that great, but I'll give this one a read and see how it is. I don't know. I really like the independents, but I'd usually give them 3 or 4 issues. So one I did like the first issue, so I grabbed up number 2, was Patience, Conviction, Revenge number 2 from Aftershock. Gotta look. I haven't read it, but I'm looking forward to that one. And this is another one from Ahoy Comics, Captain Ginger. I mentioned this in my weekly picks video. They're a fairly new company, and had the Wrong Earth number 1 and High Heaven were both, not bad comics. So I grabbed this one to see how it is. Cemetery Beach number 2 is out. I got the regular and the variant. I really enjoyed number 1. I thought it was a pretty good story. So I'm definitely going to keep going with that one. That's I haven't read it, but that's the second issue, so looking forward to that one. This is another new one that came out this week. Exorcisters. I mentioned this in my weekly picks video. It looks pretty good, and I try to get most of the number 1s from Image, because so many of those end up getting picked up down the road. And this looks like a cool story, so I'm definitely gonna go with that for a few issues anyways. Looks pretty interesting. Gideon Falls number 7, that's the start of a new story arc, cover A and cover B. I've really enjoyed this series so far. It's been really good, and man, I recommended this right when it first came out. It's a good story, and that one's been optioned, as you're all well aware, so highly recommend that one. If you haven't been reading it, I would go back, and I think there's a trade that just came out today. If I remember right, I was at my store. I think I saw a trade for that one. So this one looks really good. I haven't read it yet. It's the Ogre number 1. It's a 3-part miniseries. And Source Point Press, that's the publisher. They're putting out some pretty cool stuff. Not everything of theirs is great, but some of their stuff is really good. And that Rejected. The Rejected number 1 that came out, that one's going somewhere. So anyways, but this one looks really good, so I'm going to take a read through that. Recommend that one. I haven't read it yet, so I shouldn't say I recommend it. I haven't read it yet, but this is one I do highly recommend you get if you can. It's The Source by Scout Comics. Issue number 1, that's cover A. There's 3 covers for this. There's this one. There's a 1 for 10, which is a black with this symbol kind of all in red. And then there's a glow in the dark, which I believe is a 1 for 20. Now these are sold out at most stores, or a lot of stores didn't even bring them in. But they are available if you go right to Scout Comics website on their online store. You still can get some of these. the 1 for 20 or 1 for 25, I think. Maybe it's a 1 for 25. Anyways, it's limited to 400 copies. So if you want that one, I would get on it pretty quick. I've read this. It's a good story. It's about I won't give away what happens, but there's basically a teacher at an inner city school who's kind of prophesied to be the next savior of the world kind of thing, and this old witch is tracking him down, and some evil, they call him the Dark General, shows up mid-row, who's apparently worse than the devil. It's a pretty good story, and this one has got TV show written all over it, and this was one of my picks for the week last week. And the reason for that, I didn't go into depth on it, but I'm going to kind of explain it a bit more now. Don Hanfield, who is one of the co-writers of this, there's two writers, Don Hanfield, and Joshua Malkin. Don Hanfield, if you're not aware, he's a writer, director, and producer of movies. He's a co-owner of a movie company called The Combine. He's put out a number of movies. He's also executive producer for the series Nightfall on A&E. So he's got TV and movie written, obviously background, but this book has TV written all over it. So I would highly suggest you pick up a copy of this book. It's really good. It's a cool story, and I can definitely see that one going somewhere. So if you haven't got it, try and track down a copy. At least get cover A if you can. Anyway, it's only $3.99 cover price. But yeah, that's a good one. It's a good story too. I read through it, and it's kind of cool because it deals with like myth, legends, magic, actual history, and folklore. So it kind of combines all that together in the story, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it. So that's one I definitely recommend. I can see that one going somewhere. Absolutely. So that's it for Independence. From DC, got a bunch from them. Picked up Lucifer #1. I only liked that. I liked that cover the best. I think there was 3 or 4 covers, but I didn't like the other one, so I grabbed that one. Sideways #9. Another one of these muted foil covers. I don't know. I've been really disappointed with these foil covers. When they announced that they were doing all these, I was expecting some really nice covers, and like I was saying, I really think they got to pick one color per cover to keep the price point down, and that's the way they went with it. But I mean, they're still okay, but they're not. I don't know. I think the B covers are better. I mean, just look at the B cover of this one. So I got Nightwing 51, both covers for that. Haven't read it yet, but it looks, I'm interested to see what happens with Nightwing after that head injury from being shot. So that's kind of cool. Teen Titans 23. Got the regular and that really nice Alex Garner variant. I really like that one. It's kind of a cool look. He does, I don't know, you guys, they almost look like video game characters. To me, anyways, like it looks pretty cool. I like it. And Batman 57, picked up the regular and the Matina variant, and those are both gorgeous covers. Tony Daniel I love the look of snow when you get that snow in the background. I remember the New 52 annual Batman. Is it Batman Annual #1? I think it is. Where it's, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's annual #1. It's kind of a snowy background and stuff. It looks really cool too, so I really like that one. And another gorgeous Matina cover. Everything Matina's putting out these days is really nice. And I don't know if any of you guys, I know some of you have, I'll talk about it at the end of my video, but his cover for Deathstroke 30, is it 37, I think the next one? Wow, is it nice. So I'll show an image of it. It's really nice. Got Two-Face and stuff in there, but anyways. Justice League Dark #4, got the regular foil and the variant, and I'm sorry, but that is not a nice looking cover. But it's a continuation of that Witching Hour. It's part 3 of that. And Diana's, Wonder Woman's getting, tapping into her powers and stuff and battling Hecate. I hope I said that right. Somebody sent me phonetics how to say it. It was Hecate, so that's how I pronounce it. But anyways. Oh man, I can't. I shit the bed every time I try to say that name. I don't know why. Damage #10. This one is kind of, I haven't been buying Damage. I bought it up to, I think, issue 5 or 6, and then I dropped it. Wasn't all that impressed with the artwork and the storytelling. But in the end of this one, it looks like he's about ready to join the Justice League. So they may be ending the Damage series, but it looks like he's going to be joining up with Justice League. And this is one you might want to get if you're interested in that, because in this one he hooks up with the Justice League right at the end, and I won't give it away, but it looks pretty good. Aquaman 41, you got the gorgeous Federici cover and the Middleton variant, and this one and Justice League number 10, which I'm going to talk about in just a second, are both preludes to that whole Drowned Earth storyline. So there's these two, and then next week Titans 28. That's another prelude, and then actual part 1 will come out on October 31st. So, but these are good. And this one, I'm not going to show this one because this one kind of repeats what I'm going to talk about in the next one here. So I'm just going to pull some of these out of here just for a second. But this is one you're going to want to get. Like, I'd highly recommend you pick up Aquaman and Justice League number 10 this week, because there's some good stuff happening here. So for Justice League, I got 2 of the regular covers. I don't mind that. That foil actually isn't too bad. It looks not bad. And then cover B is the Jim Lee cover. This is I'm going to show some images here and talk about it real quick. So if you don't want to know and you haven't read it, turn it off and come back after you read it, because it's actually a pretty good story. It's got some new characters showing up in here. So at the beginning you got Aquaman as a kid. He's out with his dad and whatnot. But where it gets interesting is they're searching in the story. They're searching for this old ship that's hidden in the ice, and they find it, and they're looking for this key to the graveyard of the gods. And just as they do that, this kraken shows up, but it's a cosmic kraken who's pumping out water from, it's not earthly water. So they, what the hell's going on? Anyways, they get transported to this different, I don't know where they are, but anyways, you end up meeting these 3 new gods, and they're the triumvirate of sea gods. So you got Captain Gaul, Commander Drogu, and Fleet Admiral Tide. So these 3 you got 3 new characters showing up, and they you go along, and then what happens is they are invading the Earth, and they're bringing water from all these other planets and all these other creatures from other planets. So it's right at the end. It says, Drogu send the flood to drown the Earth. And that's what they're doing, is they're drowning the Earth, trying to turn everybody into their minions. So it looks really good. It's actually a really good story. I really enjoyed it, and that's one I recommend you get, because that's one of my picks this week for sure. And yeah, that was it. And that's it from DC. Some good stuff. That is that Aquaman or Justice League 10 and that Aquaman 41 both have those 3 characters showing up, but this one kind of gives a little bit more of the backstory of who they are and where they're from. So that's I would get both this one and Aquaman, but that's definitely one you want to get, is Justice League number 10. And from Marvel, we'll get into them. Got Old Man Logan 49. Continue one more issue before that series is ended. Then it goes into Dead Man Logan. So picked up What If Ghost Rider. I only went with the one cover. I did not like that action figure cover. I don't know. I thought that was the best looking one, so I grabbed that one. Infinity Warp's Weapon Hex number 1. I just grabbed the 2 covers for that one. Haven't read it yet, but I'm liking these Infinity Warp storylines so far, so we'll see how it goes. Picked up Venom Annual number 1. I have to be honest, I was not all that impressed with the story writing in this or the artwork. I didn't think it was all that great, but I did love the cover for B. That is a wicked-ass cover. That is a gorgeous cover. Picked up Daredevil 609. Got the regular and the variant. And I think there's a new character in here. I don't know. I've just started getting back into Daredevil, so forgive me if I'm incorrect in this, but he's laying on an operating table, and he's kind of memories and stuff. And I don't know, there's a character here. Somebody, if I'm wrong, send me a message and let me know. Damn it, I gotta find it here. Give me 1 second. He's swinging through the... there's this guy standing on this rooftop, and down here he's saying, "And you, new guy, come after me again, I'll break you in half." So I don't know if that is a new character or if this is just a memory from somebody he's fought in the past. But like I say, I've been out of Daredevil for quite a while, so I'm not 100% sure. At the end, he ends up hooking up with Elektra, but obviously she's dead. So, anyways, I enjoyed that one. Actually, it was pretty good. It's surprised. Like I say, I've been getting back into Daredevil, so I used to read them a lot back in the day. And Frank Miller stuff. Weapon H number 9. Got the regular. Another one of these Battle Lines variants. I love these Battle Line variants. They're so good. That one's nice. And then I got the X-Men 16 with Thanos on there. I love Thanos, and that is a gorgeous cover. That's probably one of the better Thanos covers I've seen for a while. And you know, these are complete virgin covers. Like, they're putting out virgin covers for cover price, so you can't go wrong with that. Another one from Marvel, Marvel Zombie number 1, regular and the variant. And that is a total cover swipe. I mentioned this in my other video that I thought, wow, that's sure got a 70s vibe to it. And a couple of my subscribers sent me a message saying, oh yeah, that's a total cover swipe from 73. It was from a Marvel, oh damn it, I forget the name of the book it was from. I'll show an image of it at the end of my video here. But yeah, it's an absolute cover swipe. Actually, I'll show it, I'll slide this over here, and I'll put the image on the right of the actual book, and you'll see side by side, like it's a bang on cover swipe. It's almost like he traced the original one and just changed the color of the girl on the bottom there to Black Widow. So anyways, I'll get that out of there. That was a cool looking, I love that cover though. I love that 70s artwork that they used to do for all the books and stuff. Man, it was good. Good stuff. And this is my absolute pick of the week this week is Thor number 6. It was one of my picks in my top pick video. Got the regular cover, got the Battle Lines variant for that one as well, and I also got the Marvel Knights 20th anniversary cover. So I'm going to pop these two back here, and I'm going to show some images in here. So be warned. Now, as you can tell in the background, I've got my Thor number 5 and my Thor number 700. Now, I talked about both of these. This was 700 was a spec book quite a while ago, and then in my video, just my last video, I talked about Thor number 5, how it had that interlude with Ego the Necro World, and that started in 700. So 700 and number 5 are two key books to get, and this one is a big one this week because, like I mentioned, that interlude was going somewhere. So you got Thor, Old Man Thor, and Old Man Phoenix battling the new Doctor Doom, and it's the first full appearance, by the way. So you got a few things in this book. It's the first full appearance of this new Doom mashup, who is Starbrand, Iron Fist, Spirit of Vengeance, the Sorcerer Supreme, kind of all combined into one. So that's your first full appearance of him. But the cool thing with this book, as I was mentioning, Jason Aaron isn't throwing this stuff in there for no reason. So you got this interlude again. So you got the Worm still battling the Ego, and you know, Ego's getting tired, and the Worm says, "Well, I'm still here." And he says, you won't, it does not matter. There's still no possible way you could ever harm Ego the Necroworld, not in a million years. So the Worm just says, oh, it won't take nearly that long. And in the dark depths of space, a Worm began whispering. So he was basically driving him crazy with his whispers. So then you go on through the story, and Doom and Thor and Phoenix are battling it out. And it's a really good book until you get to the end. And here's your interlude reprise. I stop it. I can't take it anymore. So, you know, you can't take the whispering. So the Worm says, okay, so he basically, Necroworld says, or Ego says, take whatever you want. He says, fine, the power of the Necro Sword. That's all I ask. And don't call me Worm, not anymore. Call me Loki, the Necro God. Loki, the All Butcher. Loki, the End. Like, look at that. That is a sweet ass looking picture. And that's kind of what I figured. Loki was going to get the Necro Sword, so now you got Loki. Oh man, that is sweet ass. So that is definitely my pick of the week this week. That is a big one. Get that one for cover price. Most shops probably won't clue into that till at least, well, who knows. But anyways, grab that book. I got a few copies of that one. It's a gorgeous cover too. I love the cover on that one. So anyways, that's my picks, or my books this week. Some good stuff in there. Holy cow. Some stuff coming down the road. I know I mentioned this before, but Conan the Barbarian comes out in January. But boy, a couple more images of the covers have come out, so I'm just showing those on the screen, and boy, are they ever nice. Wow. There's some really nice covers coming out for that one. It looks really good. And Jason Aaron's writing that one too, so that's pretty cool. As a lot of you are aware, the whole new Guardians of the Galaxy team has been announced now. So I've got an image of that on the screen with all the characters, and that's going to be an interesting gang of characters going forward. And it's funny that you see what's going on with the movies. How it looks like, James Gunn is gone from Guardians of the Galaxy, and that whole team's falling apart. So the movies down the road are going to reflect what's in the comics. And I've said for quite a while, and I'm going to keep saying it again, you're going to see Cosmic Ghost Rider in a movie way before you think. And he's a big part of this Guardians of the Galaxy team, so yeah, it looks awesome. Man Without Fear #1, it's a 5-part miniseries. Looks really good. And the cool thing with this is Kyle Hotz is doing the cover art for... He's starting to come back into play, and he is the one who did Carnage Mind Bomb, and is also doing the cover art for that new Web of Venom Carnage Born that comes out next month. So it's kind of interesting that he's coming back into play. But he's got some cool covers. So there's one for that Man Without Fear #1 of 5, and then there's Marvel's also putting out this Crypt of Shadows. And Kyle Hotz is doing a cover for that, and it's a cool looking cover, so that looks awesome. Another one of these Avengers Prelude comics are coming out. For the last Avengers movie, these Preludes were really low print runs. They were under 10,000. I think they'll probably be a little higher this time just because a lot of shops clued into that people wanted them and stuff. But I'm definitely getting these, and I highly recommend it because it looks like these are canon for the movie. So there's stuff that it sounds like there's a new weapon that shows up in this that may show up in the movie. So I highly recommend you pick up these Avengers Prelude comics. I don't know when they're coming out. I think they're not coming out till January, but I'm going to talk to my shop and make sure he orders me them. Thor #9. I mean, I'm loving this. Like I say, in the past I wasn't a big Thor fan, but man, I'm really enjoying Thor right now. It's really good, and I love how they're tying stuff together. You've got Roz Solomon showing up in Thor #9. I don't know where that's going, but anyways, we'll see where that goes. But I'm gonna definitely keep going with Thor. And anybody that dropped Thor recently, boy, you're missing out on some good stuff. 5 and 6 are two big ones, and it's funny that Thor God of Thunder, this is what I mentioned before, 5 and 6 were the two big books in that run, and look what 2 issues are the big ones here, 5 and 6. Kind of interesting. Immortal Hulk #11. Immortal Hulk is in Hell. It looks like a cool looking cover. And then #12, it's the solicitation says the one below all is revealed. So more than likely you will we'll get a glimpse of the one below all leading up to that point, and then he'll be revealed his true self in #12. So get #12 on your pull list if you haven't. I mentioned Deathstroke 37 earlier. Matina cover. Boy, is that ever a nice cover. It's on the screen there. It's Two-Face, and boy, that looks nice. Really, really nice. I meant to mention this. I swear I mentioned this, but I couldn't find it in one of my videos. But the Rejected #1 from Source Point Press has a second printing coming out on October 31st. That's one, man, it's a cool looking cover. It's a great book. And from what I understand, that character's going places. Right now, the price, as usual, the price shot up when the book first came out. It's kind of dropped and settled a bit. But expect that one to go somewhere. I'm going to pick up a couple copies of that second print as well. And last one I'm going to talk about is Batman Who Laughs. I know the miniseries. I know I talked about this before, but there's a couple new images of the cover art, and Jock is doing all the covers for these. Man, it looks really, really good. And they named the Batman sidekick with the guns. And for the life of me, I forgot to write it down. I can't remember what it is, so I'll look for it in my comments because I'll put it down in there. I forget what his name is, but it's kind of cool. So anyways, you got this Batman with all these guns as a sidekick. So anyways, all right, folks, that's it for today. Happy hunting. I hope you're able to get Thor #6, The Source, that Aquaman 41, and Justice League #10. Those are all my picks this week for sure. They are really, really good. They were most of my picks in my top pick videos, but get Thor #6 if you can. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.